I'm Anita Hawser, Europe editor at The Banker, and we're here at the EBRD's headquarters in London to speak with EBRD President Odile Renaud-Basso about the bank's key strategic and investment priorities ahead of its annual meeting in Yerevan. Welcome, Madame Renaud-Basso.
Thank you.
The bank has a long history in the country. You've invested some 2 billion euros across more than 200 projects. What is the significance of the meetings being held there this year?
So it's important because it's the first meeting we have in Armenia since the bank has been created. So it's, a strong signal of our commitment and support to the country. It's at a time where the country has been facing some challenges with the war with Azerbaijan. So I think it's an important moment for that. The region is also very important in the current geopolitical situation. And I think it's a good opportunity to bring in Armenia international investors, our clients, our other members, and to showcase what is the situation of the country, what is the economic strategy of the country, and so forth, to put this country into light in a way.
Do you think private investors are still concerned about perhaps the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the Nagorno-Karabakh, or do you feel confident that there is now peace between the two countries?
I think it would be better to have a peace agreement, a full-fledged peace agreement, but the situation has, it's been relatively stable in the last few months, but of course, a full-fledged peace agreement would be better.
What are the areas where you think you can make a real difference to the Armenian economy?
So, supporting the private sector. I think that's our core objective at the bank, and this is something we are doing in Armenia. We are working a lot with the banking sector, with all our facilities, thematic facilities, green, support for women, support for SMEs are in place in Armenia, and we are providing a lot of support to the SMEs in the country via our financing of the banking sector. Green transition is also a very important component of what we are doing, and we see a lot of potential. We are financing important new solar power plant in the region, in Armenia, and we expect more of this kind of project, and this is something we will continue to support and to push forward for. And infrastructure investment is also one of our priorities. We have to, Armenia, Yerevan, the city where we'll have our annual meeting, was one of the first green city for the bank, so part of the Green City program where we have a sort of strategic partnership with the city to develop its agenda to improve environmental impact in terms of transport, wastewater management, lighting system, and so forth. So Yerevan, and we have is one of the green city. We have another one, the second city in Armenia. We also invest in key infrastructure to unlock the potential of the country in terms of transport.
But of course, you've also had some challenges in the country with some of your investments. I guess the one that springs to mind is the Amulsa gold mine, which, non-profits said didn't comply with some of your environmental and social standards. But I'm just sort of wondering what lessons you take from that and how you ensure the investments you're making do meet your environmental and social standards.
So we have very thorough due diligence when we look at this kind of project. We've just defined a new mining strategy, which is taking into account this environmental and social impact, and environmental issues are particularly relevant for mining. On the other hand, we are convinced that mining is needed. It's needed for the green transition in particular, so we need to find ways to do that in a proper and sustainable manner. So the thoroughness of the due diligence consultation, we always have, for this kind of project, some consultation processes. We are reviewing, in the process of reviewing our standards, and there is a public consultation ongoing on our standards, so ensuring that we have the fit-for-purpose standards. So all these are the elements that we really need in order to have this kind of positive investment.
So you're confident that the lessons from previous investments have been learned?
We always learn lessons from what happened in the past and try to improve the way we work.
And of course, also Azerbaijan later this year will be hosting COP29, and we understand that Armenia paved the way for that to happen. How important do you think hosting such an event in the region will be for the green transition?
There were a lot of debate last year when Dubai was the host of the COP, and the situation with Azerbaijan will be the same. I mean, it's also oil-producing countries with a high dependence on the fossil fuel in terms of revenues and development for the country. So this may create some debate again, but I think it's also important because it shows that even a country with such a potential in fossil fuel can also, and will support the green transition agenda and the climate agenda. And we've been working with Azerbaijan in order to, first of all, work on their own strategy and acceleration of development of renewable source of energy and so forth, but also in support of the COP, how they can contribute, how their COP can be a success.
Madame Renaud-Basso, thank you so much.
Thank you.